why should you care about what I'm about to present? What does edifying others mean to you, and how can you apply that to your life? So to start off, what's the motivation behind everything that we do in this life? Hopefully it's to become closer to Heavenly Father and to learn more of Him and to grow closer to Him by seeing how we can become like Him. So what does it mean to edify? To edify means to uplift, enlighten, encourage. Other words that come to mind are empower, embolden, help them want to be better, strengthen. In the Doctrine and Covenants, section 108, verse 7, we read, "Therefore strengthen your brethren in all your conversation, in all your prayers, in all your exhortations, and in all your doings." So that's everything. In everything that we do, we should be strengthening others or edifying others. I love that we are asked to pray for others in order to edify them. I have a strong testimony that when we specifically pray for others, we are truly helping them become their best selves. So, we all have our own perceived and real imperfections. More often than not, we are painfully aware of them and overemphasize them and claim them as our identity. When we pick out other people's imperfections and highlight them, and that's all we tell them about and point out to them, I know that that's not edification. That's the opposite of that. It's tearing somebody down. So what happens when others point out our imperfections and magnify those imperfections in us? How does our spirit suffer? How does their spirit suffer? And what happens when others choose to, conversely, rather choose to edify and praise our good qualities and put our imperfections into perspectives? For me, I know when my good qualities are highlighted and magnified, I grow. I live up to that expectation that they already see in me. I live up to the potential and the standard that's been set. Not only by their perception of me, but it helps me see my weaknesses in the grander scheme of things and helps me put it into perspective. So what causes us to not edify others? On feedback, any answers? Jealousy, fear, insecurity. Any other words? 3 more words. Anger.
You're not in a good place yourself.
Okay. So those all have the center root of pride. So anything that causes you to not want to strengthen or embolden others and help them see their best selves in some way can all be stemmed back to pride. Pride for them becoming better than you in your perspective. Pride for you're insecure, so you don't want to help others shine. You don't want to be the salt of their world at that point. Another thought is having anger towards everyone reaching success. So that's a prideful tactic, a prideful mindset that we really need to avoid, and that is not edifying to others. So what happens to us when we do edify others? For me, we'll keep going. Something that happens is we grow closer to the Spirit. The Spirit can have a tender influence in our lives, and we can become more sensitive to the promptings and directions. When I am in a place where I can say something nice about somebody, and I do that, and I'm sure everyone's experienced the warm fuzzies, just saying something nice to somebody just for the sake of being nice and saying something nice really does benefit you to find an identity and struggling to really come to terms with, okay, what's this life, and seeing that other people were successful and happy and driven and had a goal, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I want to be jealous of that person because they have it all together. And I had a teacher that once said, you know what you do in those moments? In your head, you say, or even out loud if you're comfortable, I wish you well, and genuinely mean that. It does nothing to try to wish somebody else not to be successful. So wishing somebody else well and saying that out loud and being cognizant of that thought really does strengthen us and helps us see others as they really are. So Heavenly Father, or President Uthorf says about Heavenly Father, He loves you not only for who you are this very day, but also for the person of glory and light you have the potential and desire to become. My goal and my hopes for everyone, as a result of always seeking to edify others, is to see everyone for not who they are necessarily right now, but who Heavenly Father and you can see them becoming and who they have the potential to become. So, think about your life, think about how your day was today. Did your life today edify others? Was it something that you would go back to Heavenly Father with and say, Heavenly Father, look at all these people, that all of your other children that I served, that I edified, that I strengthened through my words, my conversations, my actions towards them, my thoughts towards them, and my prayers. I know that as we do seek to always edify others, we will grow closer to Heavenly Father. So right now, let's get in the habit. Say one edifying statement or compliment to your neighbor. Ready, set, go.
I love how much effort you put into keeping the instrument going and running.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
And I just love your example of service, like on your mission, and just watching like your Facebook posts. I think they're just positive, and you're just an example for your sister and your family. So
So who feels a little bit better? Who feels a little bit fuzzier and happier as a result of doing that? Does anyone feel like, look, I was able to edify somebody. I feel so good. I know that as we make that a habit in our lives, we can always have that warm, fuzzy feeling that comes truly from the Spirit. So my invitation to you is to not hold back compliments and praise and edifying statements